playground.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Quest Unplayed for another episode. Quest Unplayed is a game podcast where three of us talk everything or anything about games. We just love talking about games. And today's podcast is joined by myself and Zach.
Hi.
And we have another guest, Rosune.
Hey, how's it going?
Anthony actually is suffering from a power shortage. He said he'll join if he can, like in the middle of our recording. So if he comes in, don't be too shocked or anything, surprised. He's gonna turn him on. So.
Don't swat him like a burglar. Get out of here!
don't be like, what? Who is that? Like, are we hacked or something? Yeah, but he's
We're being hacked, but
I don't know. You never know that.
Leaked.
Yeah. Before
you'd
we
be
begin,
crazy being hacked on something we're recording. That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. Some skill too. This podcast is sponsored by Minimap, your ultimate gaming hub and a companion app. Sync your game accounts, make your own game collection, connect with other gamers in our community, and do anything and everything about games. And
all of it.
All of it. That sponsored video.
Let's do that.
The updated version.
Oh, I love that noise so much. Ready? Coming again. Do it again. That's good. That's good. I wish those noises were in everywhere, and like
They're clean.
Like, it would make life so much more fun. I should try this game.
Yeah, getting it icky with the game. Minimap, your ultimate gaming hub. All right, so that was our sponsor video. What do you think? What you think, Rosune?
That was a clean video.
All right.
I enjoyed it.
All right.
Especially that little voice at the end. That was.
Yeah, that's
whoever the voice actor is. I hope they get paid good money for that.
I kind of got caught off guard by that one, but.
Okay. I'm gonna record. I should record like separate versions, like different versions. Like
don't you touch it.
Don't
you touch it, George.
Anyways, how's everyone doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, I'm doing okay. It's got all of a sudden cold. Like on Friday, it was like really, really warm, like nice weather, and then like we have like rainstorm, like blizzard and all that. Like on Saturday, Sunday, so that's crazy.
It's not cold over here. I'll tell you that. I wish it was.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is gonna be like the last one, but like, I really wanted to go somewhere, but like it's all raining and I don't want to go anywhere. Other than that, it was fun. It's good. I thank you for coming to this episode, Rosune.
Of course, thanks for having me.
I know I reached out several weeks ago, and then and thanks for waiting. How about you, Zach? Anything fun going on?
I woke up this morning, but it's been all uphill since then.
Okay.
No, it's been good. It's been good. Yeah. I just finished my the Korean drama I was watching, and it was extremely violent, so I like that. And
okay.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Weak Hero.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you're
Oh man, did you watch it?
I mean, I've read the original webtoon. The
end of it.
comics.
Oh my god,
But,
the first
yeah.
first class. There's another one coming, but I was like, oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh god. The whole time I was watching, I was like,
Yeah. But yeah.
It's weird how violent. Like, is it that violent in Korea all the time?
No,
Like,
no, 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 no. It's just
Jesus,
drama.
man.
What are you talking about? It's just entertainment. I mean, it's not
That
like
was
that.
like I was watching that show and I was like thinking I grew up in like the 80s and 90s where we fought all the time and I was like, Jesus, these guys are really beating the shit out of each other. And then you watch like zombie movies and they're
Yeah.
super violent and
Hmm.
Squid Games. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know if I want to go over
It's not
there.
always like
It's
that.
dangerous. It sounds-
Did you watch any of the those shows, Rosune at all, or?
You know, I have not watched any K-dramas, but I have read a lot of the webtoons. Was that one based off of one of the webtoons?
Yes, it is. It is actually called the Weak Hero.
I didn't actually knew that, but
That
Okay.
the webtoon was really really good until the ending was terrible. I was like, like literally trash. Everyone just like went review bombing because it was just trash. I don't want
What?
to spoil anything, but like I read the whole thing and I was like, "Are you serious? Is this how this is
Now,
gonna end?" I'm like,
I have
"No."
not seen the webtoon, but I could tell you from my personal experience, this episode, the end of there's seasons evidently, and they go by class. So class 1, I guess, is what this one's called. Man, I'll tell you, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And and I'm not like a huge K-drama person. Like, I'm not saying they're bad or good. I just watch what's fun. I was into that thing the whole time. I was like, this is nuts. You know,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I can't ruin anything for you in case you watch it. And if
Yeah.
you watch another
Yeah.
one, you should watch my other favorite one's the attorney Wu or whatever.
Attorney Wu.
Uh,
Okay.
the one about the autistic attorney. I
Yes,
love
yes,
that one.
yes. That one was a
Love it.
sensation too. That one was good.
That
That was
sounds
pretty
cool.
good.
The whole time you're just like, get with her, man. She's super dope.
Yeah.
So what if
but-
she's fascinated by whales? You know?
Yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoy any of the content we just talked about Rosune. I mean, maybe we'll talk about it later. But could you
He's
tell us?
probably you're probably busy building a video game, so you don't. you
Yeah,
don't have time.
exactly. That's what I was
I
thinking.
mean,
Like,
I'm
We're
always
over here
watching
asking him
stuff
like, so
while
do
I'm
you do
deving.
stuff for fun? He's like, my hands are bleeding from coding. Just code all day. No, I'm just kidding.
Sounds about right.
yeah. So could you
Let's
tell
say,
us?
are you
go ahead.
pretty busy building your game?
I mean,
Well, it's out
mean,
right
yeah,
now,
for
right?
sure.
The one we played.
yeah.
Yeah.
I probably put a good maybe 4 or 5 hours in on weekdays and then 12 plus hours on weekends.
Wow.
So every day I'm working on it for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Just,
awesome.
yeah. But you have to take some time to yourself too, like just get some rest and
Sleep
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
if you're
my,
into
my
that
game
kind of thing.
dev process is like very chill, you know. It's not tiring at all. I'm kind of just vibing. I'm always watching something on my other monitor.
all right. That's
So it's
the.
like-
that-
I
You're the
think that's
only
the way
dev
to
that's
do it.
ever said that. You're the only
really?
dev.
I love
Yeah.
this vibe. I love it.
He's
I
like
mean,
every other dev's like, I would play other games, but I'm so busy with the game. And you're like, nah, I was watching shows. I was just chilling.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
typing
always,
things up.
always
It was
watching
dope.
something. I
that's good. I mean,
don't
that's
think I'd be able to do it otherwise.
yeah. I think that's
That's
really
understandable.
good. Yeah.
Kind of like a distraction that helps you work a little bit, maybe.
Well, I think I could. I mean, I could probably talk for hours on like this kind of thing of like building a habit, you know, and sort of rather than me being like very motivated to do game dev, I kind of just do it automatically. And so
Oh,
rather than
okay.
every day, I'm not necessarily like, oh, I'm super excited to work on my game. I'm just like, yeah, I'm excited to go. I'm gonna watch, this anime on my other monitor. I'm just gonna be doing game dev at the same time, and
Oh yes.
it kind of builds from there. Yeah.
What's your
Okay.
what's your favorite
Okay.
anime?
Of all, okay, my favorite anime is probably Terror and Resonance, which is not a
Okay.
common pick for most people.
I don't even know what that is.
I have no idea yet either, but
You don't
I
know?
really do love. I love
Terror
animes, but
And
Terror
Resonance.
In
Yeah.
Resonance, yeah.
It's the
I'm
second
It's pretty
definitely-
one.
short.
I'm definitely checking that out.
It's pretty
Impressive.
short, but and the first time I watched, I didn't really think much of it. But then I started listening to the soundtrack regularly, and the soundtrack is it's probably my favorite soundtrack of
All right.
anything
Yeah.
ever made. I think.
Oh wow, it's got quite the plot to it.
The plot's something, yeah.
You have to send me the links to the soundtrack so I can listen to them while I work today.
Okay, the soundtrack is actually kind of notoriously hard to find because it's not on Spotify. It gets taken off YouTube every time it's put on YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
So you have
For
to find
what?
it on
The show?
yeah, for
No,
the
no.
show.
Yeah.
So I found it on SoundCloud, so that's where I listen to it.
Okay.
SoundCloud.
If you
Yeah.
send me
Wow.
the secret
Okay.
secret code, secret sauce.
Sure thing.
I'm listening to that.
Could try to
I
get
mean,
you that.
I'm always open to recommendations. Like I hate
Okay.
listening to the same repetitive
That's a
stuff over and
crazy
over.
Yeah.
plot. I was just reading all about it. It's pretty crazy.
Nope, no spoiler. I hate spoilers.
Spoilers.
No, it's like the pre thing. Calm down. I didn't read the whole.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, we kind of drifted away. But
Yeah, we
could you
could-
tell us
What? How you
could
what? That
could
wasn't
you-
my fault.
No, it was or it was everyone's fault. But anyways, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your studio, and your game?
Sure thing. So I'm Rosune of Rosune Studios. I'm a solo game developer, currently working on a bullet hell RPG Souls-like called Shell of a King. I started dev on Shell of a King. I think at this point it's been about 3 years and I think 4 months. So it's been in works for a while. It's currently on Steam in early access. It has a free demo as well. But the goal is right now to release fully in, I think, near the end of August of this year. So in just a few months, I hope to finish the game completely. And that'll be that. And I'll hopefully go from there, maybe work on some other games or potentially work on a Shell of a King Part 2 because it does have a kind of an open-ended conclusion. So that's
Well,
sort of
then you
what's going
got to
on with
do
me.
it.
Yeah, you
Then
have
you got
to
to
do
do
it.
it.
I
You can't
mean,
do that, man. You got to do it. I'm sorry.
I'd be if the support was there, I'd be happy to continue working on this sort of series of games. I think.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So
Digging the art.
yeah, because I haven't played up to here at this point, so I'm like, whoa, that looks
I don't
really,
think
really
some of this isn't in the
difficult.
demo, George.
Yeah, I know. Like, oh my
No, it's
gosh.
not in the demo.
But yeah, these are some tough, intense battles coming up. Then I was like, oh, I'm gonna just go ahead kill that dolphin over there. Like, or,
Take
there's
that,
a-
porpoise.
there's a snake. All right, I think I can beat that guy. And then it's like, just like
You
dead.
You always have to ask yourself if the person being attacked is being attacked by all animals, who's the real bad guy?
Right. Yeah, that's the moral dilemma right there.
Of course, then we all know dolphins in real life are jerks. So
Yeah.
True.
just because everybody likes them, they don't know they're really assholes. That's what I heard.
Yes.
Them and otters.
Otters, really?
Yeah, they're horrible. Look it up. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I got this YouTube thing popped up once as like animals you didn't think were jerks but really are, and then I watched it and I was like, I'll never look at otters the same way again, or dolphins. You
Don't
know,
ruin
dolphins
otters
pick
for
on
me.
sharks for fun,
Yeah.
for fun, not even
Kinda
for like
badass.
just ram into their rib cage until they die, just for shits and giggles. They're just like whatever.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
I think we can talk more about dolphins, otters, and Shell of a King.
And more.
Yes. But before that, let's.
I didn't see the otters in the game either. That's awesome.
Yeah, you should bring them in actually.
I'm gonna have to add them in there.
Yeah, that might be
have to
fun.
throw 'em
Like
in
a
there.
real boss or something.
You got to make
But-
them use a rock to hurt people because they like rocks. Just like, like
But yeah. So, are you ready to take the gamer type quiz, Rosune?
I am ready. I'm curious as to what's about to happen.
All right. It's
pretty fun.
It's pretty fun.
it's going to
So-
tell you what kind of a gamer you are.
Yep. First question. It is finally the weekend after a long, tiring week. Do you ask a friend to play video game together, or you need to spend quality time alone?
Probably alone, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, the new game that just released is my type, but a friend is urging me to play with. It's not my cup of tea, so I refused at first, but it would be fun if we played together, or you listen to your friend's words and play together right away.
I'm pretty picky when it comes
Okay.
to recommendations, so I definitely refuse at
Okay.
first, at the very
Okay.
least.
So what's one of the games that you actually liked by recommended or getting recommended by a friend? Like that you never heard of?
Maybe I think maybe Hollow Knight. Maybe I think.
Okay.
Because normally I'm not. Or no, I think Ori and the
Ori and
Blind Forest.
Okay, that one is really,
Yeah,
really good
yeah,
one too.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
No,
yes.
that's super good, but I'm not like a super heavy platforming guy or Metroidvania. I never really dug into that. But no, Ori and the Will of the Wisps was Ori and the Blind Forest. I think both of them were both
Okay.
like, spectacular. So
Okay.
I'm
Nice.
really
Some of
glad
the
I played those.
Metroidvanias though are gorgeous, so I could
Yeah.
see
Oh yeah, yeah.
they
Yeah.
just make you want to play them by just the art by themselves.
Yeah.
And Silk Song is finally coming out this year, so
True. It's
kind of
about time.
excited for that. Next question. You are thinking about joining a community with strict terms to get game information. From self-introduction to attendance check, that's too much. Or if it has good information, getting ranked up after 3 days is not a problem.
I think that's probably too much for me. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are many options. I mean, there are many options out there, you know, like you don't have to be, unless it's like really, really exclusive, like, I don't know, like subreddit or exclusive
Right.
something, Discord, I don't know. But anyways, next question. Before buying a game, do you carefully read over other people's reviews, watch the trailer, check the price, or if the game looks interesting, you just buy it?
I think it kind of depends.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not super into just buying games randomly. I'm not just gonna buy a random game and play it. But I think even if the reviews aren't amazing, or if the price isn't amazing, I think at least like Steam's refund policy is usually good enough
Right.
for me to just okay, I'll just buy it. I'll check it out. If I don't like it, not the end of the world. So
Okay.
I think the first one probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. If someone is watching me playing a game from behind, it's the perfect opportunity to show your amazing gameplay, or due to the pressure, you're missing skill shots, assuming that this is a multiplayer game.
I don't think I play super well under pressure.
I mean, I think that's
being
normal,
honest.
though.
Yeah.
That is normal. I mean, that's similar.
I think it depends on the game, but mostly
Right.
that's mostly that. Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. You're playing a newly released game for the first time. Rather than having regrets later on about missing something, you go over the tutorials, or if the game seems to be similar to the one you've played before, you skip the tutorials.
I almost always skip tutorials, even if
Okay.
I have no idea what's going on, which is usually bad. But yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I ain't trying to relearn it.
I mean, if it's boring, it's boring. Nothing you can do about that.
True.
Yeah. Next question. You are playing a mystery-solving game. Based on your years of experience in mystery-solving games, that guy is the culprit, or that person looks suspicious, but you need to collect evidence first.
I think in sort of the mystery genre, I'll always be like, that guy did it, off rip, with no supporting evidence at all. So I think I'm willing to jump the gun. So I think
That's really funny.
yeah, based on my experience,
Okay.
that's
Go
it.
for it. Yeah.
You're like, I know who did it. They're like, oh, geez, right away.
I mean, I'll probably get it wrong.
Yeah.
But
Next. Yeah, I
shoot
mean, but
your
still, I mean, that's the fun of it, right? Like,
Yeah.
even if you get it wrong, it's
Finding out
not
who
like
did
you're,
it.
yeah, it's not like you're trying to actually solve a murder case or something. You're not a detective. But anyways, next question. In order to equip the rune that increases defense by 0.01%, you have to return to a lobby. Do you just go because your friends are waiting, or you tell them to wait, you go back to the lobby, equip the rune?
I think just go. I'm not a huge like min-max kind of guy, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I get annoyed by min-max and stuff.
Yeah, it's just like play the game, man. Like, come on,
I know.
it ain't that tough.
Yeah, because time is the most limited resource here.
Well, it just
True.
takes all the fun out of the originality of a game when there's like a made, this is the only way to play it. You're like, oh, great.
Yeah, makes sense.
Next question. During gameplay, your companion's character has been bitten by a zombie. You might be able to find the cure, so you decide to accompany them, or everyone in your group can get infected, so you choose to kill them, even if it's tragic.
Dang. Okay. I think Dropping the tough questions here. Okay. I think
Uh,
I don't think I would want to abandon them. I think that's kind of messed up.
Okay.
So I think I'd accompany them, look for that cure.
Okay. Next question. Even if you don't express it, you feel like you keep losing because of your friend. Are they not feeling well? You
One
lift up
that's a
your
zombie.
friends. Yeah.
I'm just messing
You
with you.
lift you lift up your friend's spirit, or you send them a link to the character's tips and tricks and suggest that gameplay.
Um, I think I would. I think I would usually offer tips. Um, I don't know if I think cheering up their spirits is also nice, but I think if I have tips to give, I'll give them. I would definitely never link someone else's tips though. That
Okay.
sounds kind of BM, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Yeah,
this
check
guy
out.
doesn't suck. How about you do his? I'm
Yeah,
like, what?
here's this guide you can check out. Like, yeah, I think
I
I think
guess.
I'd give them some tips. Yeah.
Okay. Not the link, but actually you'll give them tips and tricks.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Next question. The character has bad performance, but the appearance is totally your type. Considering the balance of your party, you cannot put them in your party. You have to put your favorite character in the party no matter the cost.
Yeah, I think picking my favorite character is usually the most important part. So I don't
Yes.
usually care if they're the
Yes.
strongest or not.
Yeah.
Here's my
Your current.
question. If there's a game, so they do this all the time in games, but why do they make some of the coolest looking characters weak in games? I don't understand it. You know what I mean?
Or they're too good, so they just nerf them.
They're like, yeah, this guy looks really cool, but he kind of sucks. And you're like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's all I had to add.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on the design and which main character you want to make, which character you want to make the main character.
Right.
But I don't know. It usually happens in like JRPGs and stuff. Like, oh, this guy is like the strong guy, but like he doesn't look that attractive. He's just like, man.
Well, the main character, they're like, you have to play this character. And you're
Yeah.
like, great. And there's like, oh, by the way, everything he does is lame. You're like, super great.
Yeah. Next question. Your current desktop is messy with tons of icons, but it does not affect your gameplay, or you hate chaotic things. Your desktop is neatly cleaned.
My desktop is very messy.
Okay.
It's bad actually. And I'll just name things, random stuff. So
Oh,
I'll have no idea what anything is.
it
I have
happens
like
sometimes.
I have like 3 folders titled music. I don't know which has which. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's funny. Next question. Before getting into the game, you search the internet just in case you end up missing achievements, or you have never played a game for the achievements.
I am not an achievement hunter. I don't
Okay.
think. I think a lot of I think it's too inconsistent across games. Some games have achievements that you'll get all of them for free basically, and then you have games like Hollow Knight.
Just
I have to
playing.
beat the game without dying, like stuff that's just super difficult for no reason. So I think yeah, I'm not really big on achievements.
And also, like, some achievements are just like, they kind of like challenge you. I guess that could be like really good for some people who likes to take the challenge, but like some people like, I just want to finish the game. Like, I don't want to be,
Right.
I don't know, kill like 20 million monsters to achieve this one like achievement. Like, no, I'm not doing
Right.
that.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Only if they killed my parents in an alley.
Yeah. Yes. Last question. You, who happens to play lots of games, you play a game you feel like playing at the moment, or you have a gaming schedule on when to beat a certain game.
I definitely just play stuff on feeling. There are
Okay.
games that I've just never finished because I haven't been feeling it.
Okay. So what's the most recent one you're playing?
Well, I haven't been playing a lot of games recently, but when I started the Elden Ring DLC, I think I spent like 5 hours on like a boss, and I was like, man, I can't do this right now, so I haven't touched it since. But
Oh wow.
5 hours. Okay. That's
I mean,
it was like 4
though,
a.m. I was
it's
like,
a good point. Like, how many times did you play a game and it felt more like work than it did a game?
yeah.
You're like, great, this is so fun. Woo.
yeah, it happens. So you are a scientific alchemist.
Wow, that's a not normal one.
Yeah, it's not normal.
Get-
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, it's it's like in a
That's
good way.
good.
Yeah, it's good because like everyone has like similar gamer type. Is this really the
Interesting.
best version of this video game? Let's see. The game system has flaws, and how could the developers have made a crappy reward system like this? Also, nitpicks on the video game. You hate games with open endings or multiple endings. You make scientific analysis and how you would have made the game differently. You enjoy single-player games that require lots of brain power. Before enjoying the game, you need to study the game-related information. You can come up with 100 logical refutes on the arguments on the chat, but I'm just too lazy to respond. You don't care if it's your favorite game or not. You will still criticize about the latest updates. You still play that one game that came out 20 years ago because it is a good game.
True.
Yeah, do any of these that you like? Are there any of these?
The only one I don't like is games with multiple, or the thing about I hating games with multiple endings. I think those are cool.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah, but sometimes it's good, like, but sometimes it could be kind of annoying because, like, if it's like open ending, are they gonna actually come out with a DLC or like a sequel?
Yeah.
But then like they never come out with a sequel, then like you hate it. Like I just want to see these characters again. Like, please come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make it. It's like a TV show you don't want to end.
Yeah, exactly.
But then when it does end, you're like, what the cheese happened here, man?
Yeah, kind of happened with Breaking Bad. After that, they came out with El Camino, but that was so-so. But anyways,
Yeah.
you like indie games? Oh, they actually do have the Hollow Knight here. All right. Awesome.
I like the Hollow Knight. He's cute.
Yeah, I mean the character is really well designed. I think.
I just really dig him.
Yeah, I think it's really well designed. Not gonna lie, like the character itself. So that's
Well, he thinks you're well designed. Hollow Knight does.
thank you.
Thank you, Hollow Knight.
Thank you, Hollow Knight. Anyways, thank you for taking the gamer type quiz, Rosune. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
So I think we're ready to jump on the bulletin board Waypoint. This is where we talk about weekly game chronicles. And I think we should just stick with one topic a week because there's just too many of them and we can't cover every single one of them. And if we have like an actual...
You know how I feel about it.
Yeah, like if you start covering every single one of them, it'll be like a 1 week podcast, like, nonstop 1 week streaming.
Or this might be kind of controversial. Several different tiny videos.
We can do that later, yeah, when you have time. But
he gets me.
Yes, he does. Yes. Anyways, so I think the one we actually wanted to cover was the tariff situation. So what do you guys think about Nintendo Switch 2 might be way more expensive than the originally announced, was it $449.99? So $450 basically. So that price might go crazy depending on how the tariff thing settles.
Right.
So are you gonna get Nintendo Switch 2, Rosune, when it comes out?
Well, okay. I don't think so. Probably not.
Okay.
But I'm not really a huge Nintendo guy these days. I think warranting the price tag for 1 or 2 games is probably just not worth it. I'd probably only play, I think, what the Bloodborne related sequel or whatever. And then maybe Silk Song, but I mean, ideally Silk Song probably isn't a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. I don't think it is.
Probably.
Right?
No.
It's gonna come out.
Yeah.
It's on Steam and everything last time, so I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, maybe if it was a couple $100, maybe, but at the current pricing, there's no shot for me, I think.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I've never had a Switch 2, or I never owned a Switch, so I might actually be tempted. But I actually honestly asked my wife. I was like, "Oh, can I get Nintendo Switch 2?" She was like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." And I was like, "Oh yeah, really?" She was like,
And
"How
then
much
she
is
threw
it?"
she threw papers at him.
She was like,
"Listen."
she didn't, because like she's not into gaming. She has like no idea what's going on like in the gaming world. Like so.
But your job is gaming though.
yeah, she doesn't really. I don't know. Like she doesn't really know like a lot about what I do. But then she was like, "How much is it?" I was like, it's like $450. That's a lot of money in Korean. She's like, "Nope, no, you're not getting it." I'm like, "Okay."
That's a lot.
That's all it takes.
That's a lot of money anywhere. Like, let's be
Yeah,
honest. Like,
that's a lot of money. I'm like, she's like, "No, I don't think so." Yeah,
unless you have a massive disposable income, $450 is one of those things you're like, I don't know.
yeah,
I think I'd rather get if I was. I'll probably end up getting it for one of the kids, but if I had to choose between a Switch 2 and like the new ROG gaming system that you could play like Steam and stuff on there, I'd probably get that. Be honest with you.
yeah. I'm also not like crazy about like Mario games or anything. I'm not like I mean, I'm a
have
fan.
them, but
I'm a fan, but like I'm not like super into like oh, I have to play this Mario game, that Mario
yeah,
game. So
yeah.
like I'm not gonna
The
be.
point where it's like obsessive.
Yeah, I'm not obsessive, so like I don't need it particularly. So like I would rather actually get like a Steam Deck or something if they come out with like a new one.
Yeah.
Because like Steam Decks they probably have a lot more. I mean, way more games compared to Nintendo Switch, obviously.
Yeah, that's the thing too. So that ROG I was talking about too, if you ever look into it, that's actually Steam Deck's competitor. It's got some pretty good specs.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the thing it's a hard selling point. It's good to talk about how it's like it's got exclusive content that everybody loves, right? Most everybody loves. I'm not gonna say everybody because there's probably people out there like, I don't like Nintendo, which is fine, right? But they do have just some really amazing IPs, and that's same with Sega.
Right.
Same with Sega.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna argue with that.
But I think that's one thing that I've always wrestled with is I've never really liked the whole exclusivity of the IP exclusivity that Sega and Nintendo hoard after. And I can understand why they do it because it's their money makers is what brings people back to me. It just is annoying because I like gaming on my PC and having freedom, and I don't know.
I agree. Yeah.
But I would venture to say though that there's so many amazing indie games out there that are on Steam that will take your time that Nintendo would take as well. So it's just like, do you want to be on the train from wherever to wherever in Korea and playing Silk Storm, or you want to be jumping around as Mario or Silk Song, or
and also
what I mean?
those indie games, like those amazing indie games, they're not like $80 like Mario Kart World they're coming out with. I think if that one title is gonna be like $80 or $70 or something, I heard. I don't know, $60, something like that. But it's a lot of money, like you could buy, I don't know, like a lot more.
Depends on the games, but several games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Several-
80 is I think 80 is a little way too overpriced.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I think there's different versions of it or something. Like,
What cracks me up the most about that is and I know that times have changed, like you got to pay your people more and stuff, but I remember back when they used to have to ship physical copies to the store, and they used to justify the price tag thing. Well, we have to pay the trucks, and we got to pay for the cover art for the boxes, and I'm like, you just literally sell me a digital copy now. You're just
that is
there you go. I'm like,
cost at all.
Yeah.
literally, there's nobody at a store selling me it or anything. I literally just go purchase, and then it comes to me. So it's kind of wild to me, to be honest with you. I think if there's an indie game that's I'm not saying that some games that are indie don't deserve a high price tag, but I feel like if the indie game was like at a point where, like when I see indie games around $30, I'm always a little like, you know what I mean? Like I don't, even though there's games I bought for $5, I probably would have paid $30 for that I played for like over hundreds of hours. And I'm like, dude, this is such a good game. But there's been games where it was hard for me to buy Monster Hunter Wilds. I know that's not an indie game, but it was really hard for me. When I pushed the button, I was like, and I looked away. I was like, oh.
Is that one 60 or?
It was like 60, yeah.
60, yeah. It's brutal.
And it's weird. It's not like it was crazy high price. It just was so hard for me. I don't know what it is. I just
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I had a question for Rosune. Like, if your game ever got to a point where like, it becomes really, really like mass success and stuff, like would you ever consider selling like, physical copies and stuff? Like, because I heard
Physical copies.
because a lot of devs I heard it's like, having physical copy was kind of like a trophy where you can kind of show around and like kind of brag and stuff.
I mean, that's so. I mean, I think.
Yeah, because
I probably not, to be honest. I think the times just have moved away from physical
okay,
copies.
okay.
I mean, look at these Switch 2 games. They don't even. Isn't the cartridge not even have the game on it anymore? It
No,
just has
it
Yeah.
a link to the download or
no
something.
it has games in them, but I'm telling you, they're so freaking small that it's like they're.
Really?
What did they remind me of? What are those things? Remember those little things you can push into computers?
Like a
The little.
micro SD card?
Yes, they're like that tiny. They're like this, and you buy a box, it's like this, and you're like, all right. The hell, like you just, but if you have
Right.
a bunch of if your kids are playing that and you're like, hey guys, put the game back into the and then you're vacuuming and just out of the
It's
corner of your eye
simple.
you see that $70 Mario Kart that's just laying in the carpet. You're like, part of you just is like, don't murder them, just pick it up,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. But even Nintendo's everything's got online now, which
Yeah.
is kind of.
Right. Yeah.
It's all about digital stuff, so it's just like it's not the same anymore. I think.
I mean, if the grid goes down, we're gonna probably have to go back to playing Nintendo and Atari. You know?
I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
down.
Atari just
So
made a watch, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that.
that's
They made a
gonna fail.
watch.
That's gonna fail.
Atari made a watch with like three classic arcade Atari games. It's like Missile Command and stuff. That I was like,
That's cool.
be at work like this, be like playing Pong, bro. Get off my back. But
But
no,
yeah,
yeah.
and I don't know. It's gonna affect the entire like it's definitely gonna be affecting Nintendo's stock price. It did, right? I think as soon as U.S. declared or not, I don't know, they actually announced it, but like they said they're gonna have like heavy tariff and from other places. I think Nintendo's stock went like plummeted and just
I
like
didn't see.
I
I
heard.
can
That's
tell
what.
you
Yeah.
from walking by the stock market channel that they play on every channel at work. For some odd reason, it was just a big red board
Mm,
Yeah, I think it
everywhere.
dropped something
And
like
then once
14%.
yeah.
it was really bad. It was like the worst
Yeah.
they've seen since the last time someone was in office. But the minute he took it back, all the stock market jumped up like crazy high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, wait a minute. I don't know though.
Yeah.
I won't do any speculation on here. But could it cost a lot of money? Yeah. Do I think that American politicians will care? Probably not. So you'll have a bunch of gamers who, if they really want the Nintendo Switch, might have to kill somebody for it or go to another country. There's a
Buy
lot of
it.
different ways to do it. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if a flight to Japan to buy a Nintendo Switch would be cheaper than buying one in America. And how does that work? You
I
get
don't
stopped by customs on the way back in. Like, did you
because
pay a tariff on that?
I think what people usually do is they would just buy the gadget and then just, tear out open it up and then it's look so like make it look like it's an actual like a console that you actually play with, like not something that you bought just for the price of it. So like I think it's similar to like iPhones and getting all these different like I don't know devices from other
It'll
countries.
be it'll be interesting to see how it affects the gaming culture. To be honest with you,
Yeah. Because I mean, like Rosune said, it's the move. The time has shifted. Like it has like moved forward, and like it's all about digital stuff. I mean, except for the actual console. Like you need to buy
Yeah.
that if you want to play on it, or you still have to buy it. And those
you still have to have
things,
something to play it on.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I
there's.
mean, and those things are like very complicated. I think like some parts are from China, some parts from I don't know, India, some parts
Oh,
from.
that's 100% true. You're right.
So
A lot of
then,
times people think that like every console and stuff like that comes from one place, but a lot of people don't realize that sometimes even America makes a lot of the chips that go into stuff. It's not, and then we send it to other places, and they put their stuff on it, and then so there's a lot that goes on when it comes to building.
Yeah. So, I think
the world bands together to make video games.
Should. I think, but I still think though, like even if with the tariff or without the tariff, Nintendo Switch 2 is gonna sell out like crazy.
Some people are gonna buy it.
I'm sure.
It's gonna be like the ridiculous amount of people buying it.
It might actually make people buy it earlier if they're afraid that it will go up, and even if it doesn't. Like say that nothing happens from it, right? And then for some reason it doesn't go up. People are pre-buying it, and it comes in. They got it. After that, there's nothing. They can't retroactively come and get the tariff from you at your house. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that people are like, they might be like, oh, I gotta, because there's people I know make a whole room out of Nintendo Switch stuff. Yeah, like their whole room is Nintendo Switch. So they're gonna definitely go in ham. Not unfortunately, which is good for Nintendo, but Godspeed.
Yeah. Wait, is Shell of a King coming out in Switch or no?
That I'm currently not planning on that, but
okay.
I think since I'm working in Unity, I think exporting to Switch is easy.
Okay. Is easy.
Yeah, I think it's like a configuration thing. I don't think I have to jump through hoops or anything. I think it'd be cool to have it on Switch, though I don't know how well it would run on at least the Switch 1, because Switch 1 hardware is not super powerful.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I might be able to do it. I think.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah, but they play and the Switch is big on indie games, but
right.
I would just be one if you really wanted to port it over or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not really sure.
From playing your game though, I could see it being really well received on like Steam Deck and Switch and stuff like that, because people love those. I got kind of from your game. I got kind of what's that one game? Binding of Isaac feel of it too when I was playing it a little bit, and those kind of games play really well on handhelds.
Yep.
Most games actually do, unless they're like third person action. You know what I mean? Like some kind of weird camera angle. You're like,
no, it's current Shell of a King's currently Steam Deck verified. So
okay, that's good.
That's all the work really to get it on Steam Deck. So I imagine it would play similarly on the Switch, but even though like Shell of a King doesn't look that intensive, it kind of uses up a lot of memory.
Okay. Yeah, your bosses definitely look intensive when I was watching those boss fights.
Yeah.
I did not. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't make it that far, and I was just I was having a really hard time with the shift to do the little. And so I was like watching it. I was like, oh, I would have been so murdered. I would have been like, I quit. What is that first snake you run up into? That's like really nice, and he's all dapper, but then.
Oh yeah, he's kind of fresh, and then he's
like, you know how to fight, and you're like, sure, and then you're like, well, that was quick, like.
Yeah, you're supposed to die to that guy. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because inside me, I was like, dude, I really suck. Like this is not.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I was supposed to die, right?
No, yeah, that's a scripted death or whatever.
Okay. I was like, I died, but then like nothing happened. Like I didn't go back to like autosave or whatever, like the waypoint. So I was like,
I did dig how dapper that guy was. He was dapper.
He's got the head.
He had a monocle, right? The top head. It was just like
he's got the mustache.
Yeah.
Looks like we're about to rumble.
Yeah. So let's talk more about Shell of a King. I think it's a good breakthrough, and let's watch the trailer with music because I actually did enjoy the music as well.
That's good.
Okay. You have to let that music like settle before you come into anything.
Yeah, a little bit. I was like,
'Cause
oh,
it's one of that music where you have to wait and then everybody stands up and they're like, ah! The guy's like, did you do that? Did you do that music? I see the piano behind you.
Yeah, I did all the music in the game.
oh, that's impressive. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
that is like
So, did you actually like learn or study music somewhere, or was it just like natural thing that you just learned?
So music was sort of the first thing I learned. So I
Okay.
played a lot of jazz and in high school and college. I never studied it formally, but I learned music theory at a young age and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, composition has always been something I've been doing all the time. So no, not too difficult. I guess I don't know.
Because I know a lot of indie devs, like especially solo dev, they struggle with music. Like, they can do art, narrative, story, programming, and all that. They're like, oh, but I can never get the music right. And then Virginia, the one dev we just talked with, she's like, yeah, music was the only piece or element of the game that I actually work with another person. So
Right, okay.
usually that happens.
we'll get your contact later. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. So are you telling me that did you also do the coding
Yeah, I did. I do all the coding. Yeah,
He's
and the
I
music?
did everything. Yeah,
he did everything.
is-
He's like,
that's what
what's
the
your-
solo dev's got to do.
I mean, I know that, but now I'm starting to think maybe we have like a genius or something. Like you got like one of them
I don't
high,
know about that.
like
I don't know about
190
that,
IQs.
I
No,
doubt
that's
that.
because that's a lot. Being, they say when you're really good at music, that just shows like that's something that's a trait of somebody who's like really, really intelligent. And then you're also coding. It's pretty impressive.
that is very impressive. I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Did you do the art?
Yeah, I did all the art, but I will say art is the
I'm done.
weakest part of Shell of a King. I think at least right now. But
What? No.
Oh no, I mean it doesn't.
That's the part I like the most. That's why I asked.
Yeah, because like some people,
really?
like
Thank
it's
you.
not all about how fancy they look or how realistic they look.
I think too, when you think fancy, right? So some people think, and I have a friend that does this too. Like he watches me play indie games and he goes, well, what's up with these graphics? And I find some of the graphics to be gorgeous, right? I'm like,
right, yeah.
I just in love with them. I'm like, this is
Wow.
amazing. And he's like, well, it doesn't look realistic. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Like,
So
you're killing me right now.
So funny
it's like-
story is
go ahead.
I was actually playing Dave the Diver over the weekend, and then my wife just walked by, and then I told her about this is a really really good game. I love this game. She looked at it. She's like, what is? They're so small. Like what is the point of playing this game? I'm like, dude, this is not the graphic isn't everything about this
Do you
game.
even get me?
Yeah, and then I told her over 5 million copies were sold, and she couldn't believe it because it looked like kids stuff.
I think you have to play it to understand, though.
Yeah, exactly. Because
I didn't understand until I played it, and then now that I played it, I'm like, this is a dope game.
yeah,
It's a dope.
I'm telling you.
Like, and the reason why I say that too is because like, I don't know. I think it's super. I don't know why it's so fascinating to me, but it's super fascinating when I see games, and I could tell like most of everything you put in there was hand drawn. And as someone who loves art, like I could tell what kind of marker you used for the hair and the outline and stuff. And I was like, wow, like that was actually to be honest with you, was like my favorite part. Even your little talking scenes that looks like kind of like an anime book or manga book. Cause it wasn't in color, but it was all black and white. And then I was like, I thought that was like I thought it was cool, but I'm a weirdo like that, I guess.
No, I mean I actually like that. Cool. Did you get inspired by like animes and comic books and stuff, or is it just plain?
So prior to 2020, I had no experience drawing anything at all. So COVID hit, I had nothing to do. I was like, okay, I'm going to try to learn how to draw. So that's so that's basically what happened.
Well, I know how to code, how to make music. Better draw now. I
Yeah,
guess.
it's time to start drawing.
Yeah, what's next now? Like, I know how to market these stuff now.
I shot
I don't know
a
how to
satellite in space the other day. I'm just waiting for the information to come back. No big deal. No, just go ahead, sir.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
you're good. You're good. So I drew for like a year. That was basically like what. So I was drawn for a year, and then I think I started working on my own webtoon. So that's sort of how
That's where it comes from. Okay.
that's sort of where I learned how to draw characters. I mean, I'm still not very good at it, but so and then at some point that was taking too much of my time. I couldn't draw fast enough, so I stopped.
That does take a lot of time.
Yeah, it's super time consuming. And then I think I started working on Shell of a King. I think like right after that. So, so that's where the drawn inspo comes from.
Wow.
I think it's kind of fascinating though when you like this and other games. Like I know that they went really ham on it, but they had a whole team. But Cuphead, that game and stuff, and how to me, it never, for some reason, it was hard for me to wrap my mind around people physically drawing stuff with their hands and coloring it and then animating it in a game to do what you want it to do when you hit buttons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the thought of that happening, it's just like, I was just sat around for like a couple days staring at the wall, like, how is this even possible? Like my brain was melting, you know?
I mean, Cuphead is crazy. The art goes crazy in that game.
Yeah.
But like same with yours too, right? Like, cause yours is hand drawn. And so if you think about it, you drew these characters and when somebody presses a button, they do things. And and you had to animate that. And so to me, that I was like, you know, it kind of blows my mind a little bit. You know, so
yeah, I mean it's super time consuming, but
yeah,
I think it looks decent in the end. I mean,
I like it.
It looks, yeah, I like it too. Like, you know, it looks really, really good, I think.
That was the first thing I noticed and liked about the game was the art, to be honest with you. Like as the character woke up and I saw the highlights and the outlining with the black mark, it was a fine tip marker, right?
So I think I used 2 brushes for literally everything, but
you did it digitally?
yeah, this is all digital. I didn't.
Oh wow.
I didn't draw anything on a paper.
Oh no, that's fine. No, because the reason I was asking is because the way the hair was done, there's like there's it's like a pin, but it has like a very fine tooth on it, and that's what it looked like for the hair and like stuff.
Really?
And I was like, yeah, I was like super like, oh my god, this is dope. But that when you roll your head, when you roll and it's like head first view, it's just like a head.
Yeah.
And then little legs behind him. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
just rolling around. It's like, go get him, buddy. But yeah, I digress. But that's super awesome. You did all that
yeah.
while watching anime on another.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, while watching something else.
He's drawing and making music. He's like, you know what, man? Let's throw some anime on. Little cup of wine. It's just like, yes. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it without it. I don't think.
Okay, I mean
that's it's just super awesome of you.
Yeah, I think and also like you're actually enjoying the process too. Like, you know, it's not something that you hate doing or like you have to do. It's just like, you know, I'm just watching, like, you know, while I do it, might as well just watch a movie or, you know, anime or whatever. I'm like, you know, I'm just enjoying this and like with the music on and everything. Like, feels like
that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty awesome actually. It's like one of those old movies where the hacker is clearly not really hacking. I don't know if you remember those old 90s movies where the guy's like, and he's just like, oh, and he turns around to another computer. Like there's a reason for it, you know, like 16 screens. And he's just like, yeah, baby. And you're like, you're trying to make hacking look cool.
Yeah. And also the monitor is like all Matrix stuff. Like,
yeah, there's like 16 monitors.
Just nonsense.
Like, what is going on here? Like, it's probably like a screensaver or something.
They're all hacking. He's like, yeah, baby, yeah. I can't remember the name of the movie, but there's an exact movie I'm thinking of when I think of that. It was like Hugh Jackman played this guy who was down on his luck. It was Swordfish. That's it. And John Travolta's character is like, I need you to hack. And he's like, fine, but I need this specific computer. And it had like 14 keyboards and like tons of screens. And Hugh Jackman's listening to music. He's just like drinking wine and jamming out and sweating a little bit. I'm like, this is intense. This is intense. Peter was called the Hydra.
Yeah.
The
Sorry.
Hydra.
Please go on. Go on. My bad.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just had a question. Oh, real so like your the Shell of a King had like you're able to move around the camera angle with the keyboard. So that kind of was like I guess unique in a way because like you're doing it with the keyboard, I guess. Because like with controller you can kind of like do the moving around the camera angle and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not good at the camera angles that move around too much, so I kind of got motion sickness after playing for a while. So like I lay down for like a couple hours after playing for like 30, 40 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Oh no.
oh I'm gonna, oh, okay, I guess I have to stop. Like, but was
for
there
the
like a
demo.
reason where was there like a reason why you chose to do that in a way or?
Okay, so the camera angle thing is based off of the game Realm of the Mad God. I don't know if you've heard of it. Right? You guys heard of that game?
I have. Yeah.
It's a. It's,
You're not
it's
the
like a
first
really
to talk about that game either.
Oh, really? That's cool. But it's a really old browser game. It's an MMO. It's completely top down. But I think due to like rendering limitations, they put in this camera rotate so that you can rotate your camera relative to I guess the environment around you, so you can sort of like look at the boss at the angle you want. Basically, that's sort of the idea. Um, but having a camera angle actually allows for some for movement that wouldn't normally be possible with WASD because now you're able to dodge, tangentially to not tangentially. Yeah, tangentially to projectiles that are coming in at different angles, so it's kind of like I'm not limited to just left or right. I can actually move in every direction with WASD. That's sort of the movement behind the camera. But then I guess pretty recently, I think it hasn't even been very long, but Realm of the Mad God converted to the Unity client, which actually made the game in 3D. And so what this actually allowed was having 3D objects in a two-dimension, or 3D objects combined with 2D sprites, and so now your camera actually allows you to move the 3D objects out of the way so they're not occluding things that you'd normally want to see. And for Shell of a King actually started out, I think it was only 2D, and there was no camera rotate. And this was if the game was like this for I think like a year, maybe a year and a half, and then at some point I was like, okay, I'm just going to convert to 3D because 3D is cooler. And so that's what I did. And what I had found was having large bosses without the camera rotate was like not playable, because if you're above the boss and the boss is taking up half the screen, all of a sudden there's projectiles being hidden by the boss. You can't actually see what's going on, and it's horrible. So the camera rotate is there for that, and I think it's interesting, and I think there's a lot of skill expression with using the camera and movement and stuff. But that's sort of the main reason why the cameras exist. But I have designed the game in such a way where you can beat the game without ever touching the camera. You don't ever have to use it, but it does. There's a lot of puzzles that involve the camera. There's things that are hidden that you have to rotate the camera to see, stuff like that. But
that's cool.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, in the beginning, I was like rotated a little bit, and then I started feeling like, a little bit of.
You start throwing up.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, maybe I should not even touch the camera angle rotation thing. But then I was going behind these walls and stuff. Like maybe there's something behind the wall. I have to kind of rotate it to see like if there's like a hidden passage. I don't know, like hidden key or whatever. And then yeah.
So my like target audience at the time of starting Shell of a King was Realm of the Mad God players, and a lot of them really, really like the camera. Like the camera is what makes Realm of the Mad God so unique. So I felt like I kind of had to add it in there. But
that's good.
Yeah. Maybe for players like George throwing there, like may cause vertigo. I'm sure. They play with bucket next to you.
Yes.
No, I'm just you.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to not like the camera rotate thing when I played Realm of the Mad God a lot. It did make me dizzy, but I kind of got used to it. So
I heard that's how you kind of like fight through this vertigo or whatever, because you just have to keep going.
There was enemies I couldn't see, like because when you're fighting the hallways and the snakes, I'd have to hit Q or E to get like a clean line of sight of them. So I used it. I didn't use it as much, I guess. I just kind of used it to move around to see like enemies, and then sometimes I would use it to see if I could get a peek at stuff coming up before it would come. Like kind of like corner watching. I was like, let's see what happens. But
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty unique. It was, you know how when you go through the tutorial and it's like Q&E for camera rotation. I was like,
Like, uh-oh.
like I did not expect it. I was like, oh, he's right. It is Q&E. All right. So that was pretty cool. I thought I liked it. But I've been in George's shoes before, but only when I played a virtual reality game, and my friend was like, just like hard pressed me to play it, and I was like, fine. And it was really non-optimized, and I just like, and I had to run off and throw up, and then I got back on, was playing, but the whole time I was angry. I was like, I hate this game. I'll never play it again. But
yeah. I think my case is a little bit intense because I played when I played The Last of Us. I would play for 20 minutes and then lay down for like hour and a half. And then play 20 minutes and then And so it took me like almost like I don't know, like at least over half a month or half a year to finish the game.
Have you ever been looked at for that?
Which one? No.
For Vertigo?
No, but I mean, sometimes like when I watch a big screen movie like that has like this crazy camera angle, that also gives me like Stellar or Interstellar gave me that when they had like the docking thingy. I was like, okay, I'm not watching that. But I mean, it was one of the best movies I've ever watched. But like, I couldn't actually watch the thing,
George.
Oh yeah. So and Man of Steel actually got me that too. I don't know why, but like that too. Some of these movies are just so yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, no. You know what's funny too is I went to go look up Realm of God. I have a Realm of the Mad God. I have it in my Steam library. Realm of the Mad God Exalt, I guess it's called.
Yeah, it's a free game.
I was like, I think because somebody told me, one of the devs like, you should play it, and so I clicked on it, and now it's in my library.
Okay.
I was
that game has its issues, but I think overall it's a pretty cool game.
Okay.
I mean, they've been fixing since 2010. It just kept showing updates, so they're sticking with it.
I guess that means the devs are actually caring about the game. They care about the game, right?
I mean, the Realm of the Mad God's weird because it's changed hands many times. So there's been different like companies who will just straight up buy the game and like work on it. So the latest one, Deca.
Deca Live.
I think they acquired it like 3 or 4 years ago or something. But the
Wild
game,
Shadow
the game
Studios.
The game will completely change once by these people making their own decisions. But
and that's all that one company's done is make Deca make this game. That's all they published. Okay, so I have the Steam page open. I'm like looking at it right now. But yes, I digress. So yeah, you can kind of see that. I guess that would answer the question I was going to ask too. Is like, where'd you get the idea for the game? Is there any other inspirations that drew you to this game besides Realm of the Mad God?
Or was that just the main one mechanically? So aside from how the game plays, it's very, very much influenced by the Dark Souls series, in terms of like environment and sort of general atmosphere.
When you die,
he says you died on the classic.
It's like you must go back to here, and I'm like,
yeah. So Dark Souls is a big one. Hollow Knight's a big one. Binding of Isaac is a big one. Enter the Gungeon's a big one.
Oh man,
I want to say
a lot of great games right here.
Yeah. That's what I hear.
I'm starting to get your vibe. I don't know if you played them or not.
Understand me.
Any anime inspirations?
Anime inspirations? I don't think so. At least not directly.
Okay.
I could see from your character though, and kind of how you. I mean, just reading the little bit about it and playing it and seeing your character, like I could see it, like being a story, some kind of story. Because you said you did webtoons too, right?
Yeah. Oh, you have to tell us what the webtoon. Can you tell us what the webtoon is or no? You don't have to. I mean, if you don't want to.
I think I can. Okay. I think if you go on like Webtoon, like the Webtoon app or website. I think if you
Hmm.
search Iris 23 is the name of the Webtoon. I think there's 3 chapters, so not
Okay.
very long, but I think some of the art is kind of cool. I'm very big into like perspective drawings, so like big structures, cool
Mm,
camera shots.
okay.
But it's
Definitely.
like an action. Well, I mean, the plot really never got developed in 3 chapters, obviously, but but it's supposed to
Mm,
be like an action mystery kind of thing.
okay.
But um, but
That's super cool though.
Yeah, I honestly think it's super cool because it's for especially for like solo devs, it's really difficult to like learn or experience how to kind of like building the plots or narrative of the game because it's like
mhm.
not you can't like study that, like you can't just go ahead and
No,
like get a degree on that or whatever. You just like need to you know read a lot of, I don't know, like stories, webtoons, anime, watch a lot of animes, movies, and all that.
just have a really
Yeah.
good story in
Yeah,
general. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. So I think test or starting in the webtoon area, they kind of definitely, they probably definitely helped you out with unfolding the story of Shell of a King, I would assume.
I think so. I mean the story. I mean, like most of the Dark Souls games, the
Oh
story
wow,
is
that
very much in the background.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, the Shell of a King story is like stupid complicated. It's kind of it'd be really hard for me to summarize it. It's
Okay.
because it's based on like a lot of the events have already happened right in the world, so it's
Hmm.
more about uncovering what has happened and sort of what you'll do with that rather than go save the princess type
Oh,
of
right,
deal.
right.
So
I see.
so I think yeah, working on webtoons definitely had me thinking about story a lot. I think I did
Mm-hmm.
something similar in
Right,
Shell of a
right.
King with how I did that. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of
Because
like webtoons honestly.
our webtoons are super cool. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't think I've ever gone on this page before. All right, sorry. What was the name of yours again?
Iris 23, right?
yeah. At least I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. Well, can I can I
That's
can
what
I
it's called.
can I share that link to the description of this video or no?
Ah,
Yeah, yeah, you can.
I definitely see
Okay.
the resemblance in the art from your game.
I think I used the same brush in, or did I? I think I did. Maybe I didn't,
You know, it would
but
be really cool, and I know it would take a lot of time, but if you combined a webtoon, like a webtoon, with your game,
that'd
you
be
know,
cool.
Yeah, I mean
That'd
that
go
has happened
crazy.
a lot. Yeah, because like I think a lot of webtoons. I think it started with like having like a novel, like web novel, and then
Right,
it
yeah.
becomes a webtoon, and then it becomes either like a movie or like game. I think solo
Hmm.
leveling became like a very big like IP, whatever, and then
this
Yeah.
is
it came
really
out as an anime and then game.
good art.
So
I like your art.
Oh, thank you.
Do you use a tablet?
Yeah, I've got my like $80 tablet that I bought like
Hey,
a
that
couple of
works,
years
my
ago.
guy. That
It's
works.
it's it's been holding up. It's doing a great job. I have no complaints.
Sorry, I was just looking at your stuff. I know we're here to talk about your game though. But no, yeah, you could definitely see the art style in that as well as in your game. So,
yeah,
and I'm
Thank you.
guessing there is there a. I mean, because we only got to play a little bit of it. I'm not gonna lie to you,
Hmm.
okay?
I
But
mean, it's a long game. I wouldn't expect you to
is there a story
finish it.
woven in? If I make it further, is there gonna become some story woven in there?
Well, so the way the
That's how my hand
story
does.
is so like the Dark Souls game, a lot of the story you will find in item descriptions. So
Mm.
whenever you pick up an item, you read the description will tell you something about the history of the world. Basically, that's
oh,
sort of
Oh
the main
wow.
idea. And then, I mean, there's like 100 items in the game, so there's a lot of items. So so with those, and you'll get hints here and there from like the environment and the characters and stuff, and then you can sort of piece together, what happened, what's going on now, and what should I do about it, kind of thing. So the story, if you don't want to think about the story, you never have to. If you really want to think about it, if you if you really want to think about it, you'll have to put in the time, but it's all the pieces are there. Um,
See, I love
but it's
story. That's why I was asking.
yeah.
I
I
love
think there's
story.
a. I'm not a huge story guy, but I think like having the story be more with the world building rather than dialogue. I like that more. I think so. That's sort of what I
Kind of
do.
like based upon like you kind of if you really want it, you got to find it kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like so there's no like when you fight a boss, the boss is like, "Oh, I'm here to destroy you for eating all the pumpkin pie." And the guy's like, "Oh no." Nothing like that. It's just straight
No.
battle, huh?
But the boss might drop an item that will like, okay, this is the
Ah,
yeah type stuff
Okay,
like that, or
that's good.
he's
cuz I do
yeah
I definitely want to know more about this dapper snake.
like
I do
that's an
like me a
important
dapper
character.
character.
Yeah.
He's an important
So,
character.
there has to be like a wiki page or a fan page of Shell of a King that explains all of these stories that's behind these items. Then,
I could
Yes,
see
so
yeah.
it would
there is
I
a
could
wiki.
oh sorry, go.
Oh yeah, well so yeah, Shelva King does have a wiki that is maintained by me. Um,
Oh,
I, but
He's doing it all. He's
that's
doing
smart. That's a
I
smart marketing strategy too, because people will know, like want to know, like, oh,
People
what
love
is this
wiki.
about? Yeah, and then like go into the wiki.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean the wiki's very bare bones, but I try to keep
Still,
it semi up to date. I've had some people help me maintain the wiki at the very least, but
That's nice.
I made the wiki before I released it in early access. So if you had a question about anything, you could just look it up the wiki without having to ask me.
okay.
Um, but but yeah, there is a wiki. I don't know. I don't think I have my story breakdown on the wiki, but I do have one written up. Um,
It's
might
super
be good
dope.
to put it on the wiki, but
No, I mean,
yeah,
that's kind of cool the way you do that, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
I honestly really like it because not many people or not many games have wikis, and
I feel like too, if someone's really interested in it and they put that time in, like I could see, and they do it all the time. There's games that don't have a clear cut story, but
hmm
creators will literally go out of their way to do like a whole thing, like this is this part, and then they go in and that's kind of cool when somebody is like really into it to the point where they're talking about what happens and why this is significant, and
right, yeah.
yeah. So
uh, so how long did it take you to kind of get to up to this point, like for this Shell of a King?
How long?
Yeah.
Since I started 3 years ago,
Okay.
3 years and 4 months ago, so I guess that long.
Okay. So this is your this is your first like game in terms of games, like this is your first project then.
So yeah, it's my first. It's definitely the first game I ever started working on was this. I've done some game jams
Okay.
here and there, but as far as games that I've made, this is the only one. So
Love it.
okay.
Yeah.
And is there any are you planning on expanding on this game or making more in the future or
well, so
doing like work for other companies?
uh, ideally, I'd like to get a job in game dev. I think that's the most realistic goal for me to have right now. Is rather than me being like, okay, I'm gonna quit my job and make Shell of a King full time. I don't think that's very realistic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think rather using Shell of a King to up my resume and then hopefully I can get a decent job somewhere. Um, but I think as is Shell of a King is it's a long game. I think I think probably an average playthrough, first playthrough probably takes almost 20 hours depending on how good you are. So it's a long game. Like I had mentioned before, it's sort of left open ended. So if I wanted to do a sequel or some sort of DLC thing, I could. I think if the support was there, I'd love to work on a Shell of a King Part Two. But but as it
Yeah.
stands, I'm sort of finishing up all the new content stuff right now. So I think within the next month, maybe 2 months, I'd like to finish up all the new content that I'd like to add to the game, and then spend the next 3 months after that just polishing stuff, fixing bugs, maybe rewriting some of the dialogue, stuff like that. So pretty much,
Okay.
I'm very close to done content wise. So that's the plan right now, at least.
Nice.
I love it.
I mean, it's good to have a plan.
Yeah.
You know, he makes all the plans. I just kind of go. I'm the guy that's just like, let's go.
Let's do it. Yeah.
He's like, we need to plan it out. I'm like, oh, okay, fine.
We need to plan it out. We need everything set before we actually start doing it.
What? Okay, fine.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really practical and realistic, I guess, thought process because, just because you make like one game that doesn't become like all of a sudden Balatro or whatever, and then like you just can like live off of that game and then keep continuing.
Unless you're Balatro people.
Nah, or Hollow Knight or I don't know, like all these.
They just randomly make a game. They're like, this might be horrible, and the next day they wake up, they're like, we don't have to worry about money ever again.
Yeah, like I can make whatever I want to now. But yeah,
my pillowcase and sleep on it. Little dollar bills coming out. No, but
yeah, I think that's a good plan too, because like, so
I mean, especially if you, I mean, do you enjoy development? Do you know to the point where, I mean, you said you do it as a habit, but is that something you think when you work on another game you'd enjoy too?
Yeah, I think so. I think the big thing is I don't know if I would like working for a game I don't like. So, like if Raid Shadow Legends hit me up and they're like, we need a developer, I don't know. I don't know.
Like, hey, we need you to help us with this auto battler. You're like, oh, I'm so busy right now.
Yeah. So that is something I've thought about is, do I like game dev for what I'm making, or do I just like game dev? I think the same thing would be music. I don't know if I'd like writing a soundtrack for something I don't
Enjoy.
like, or something that doesn't inspire me. So I think ideally, yeah, if I could get a game dev job working for, it doesn't have to be the greatest game of all time, but just something I think is cool. I think I'd love doing that.
Yeah. I think that's very important, especially for game devs, because and those roles actually show. Yeah, go ahead.
I would say I don't think I know this is going to sound weird. I don't know. I don't think I could do anything for anything I don't actually like or enjoy, no matter how much money there's involved. I know it sounds nuts, but unless I really actually enjoy stuff now, like I'm at this weird point in my life where it's got to be something I want to do. Like if I don't want to do it, I'm like, I'm not wasting what little time I have to play to write the next composure or next bit of music for Raid Shadow Legends or whatever. You know what I mean? So, but so I could totally understand. If I was in your shoes, I wouldn't do anything unless I really wanted, like it spoke to me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing makes me sadder than when I see somebody I really enjoy their work of art, being it a musician or a movie star or a development company, and they make something and I'm playing it and I'm like, the hell is this? Like, this is horrible. Who's their manager? That's it. I quit.
Yeah.
So makes me sad inside.
Yeah.
I digress.
I think it is time to kind of wrap up things. Do you have anything you want to say to the listeners or people who are watching this? Your fans or anyone in the world?
Oh, well, I mean, thank you for all the support. I mean, for those of you who haven't checked out Shovel of the King, it's got a free demo. You can play the free demo if you like it. You can buy the full game for $6. I think it's on sale right now for $1.
It's on sale right now.
It's for $1. Okay.
For 94 cents.
94 cents, you can get
tax is going to be over $1. I bought it. That's how I know.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I got to know the story now. Now that you said I got to find everything, I'm like, here we go. I'm going to have to figure it all out myself.
You've got the time.
Oh, God, I'm going to die before it's done. I know it. I'm supposed with you. So much story.
Yeah. So if you haven't already, please go, I don't know, wishlist it, or if you can just play the demo.
Go check it out.
Check it
It's
out at
super
least.
awesome.
I mean, demo is not going to cost you anything. So
True.
check the demo, play the demo, and then if you like it, wishlist it, or I don't know, buy the full thing. It's less than $1
Yeah.
right now. So
It just is an install, man.
yeah,
And then if you don't like it, uninstall. And easy peasy lemon squeezy.
yeah. Let's
But
support it.
I think it's a nice game, and it's super. It was really cool meeting you and knowing that you did all that. Makes me feel
exactly. I had
less
no
of a
idea.
human being over here. I'm just like, wow. He's like, yeah. So I was bored being a musical person and developer. I decided to do some drawing. I'm like, okay, buddy. No sugar, but that's super cool.
Yeah.
I'm just
Thank you,
waiting for your next webtoon to come out with that's part of the Shell of the King.
Yeah, that
That'd
might
be
be
dope.
cool.
I mean, I
That might
think
be cool.
if at some point I find myself where I have a lot of time on my hands and I don't have to worry about money, I think I will revisit Webtoon stuff. But
Yes.
that'll be in the future.
Okay.
We got to
So-
have somebody who
ways.
plays your game do a webtoon for your game.
I mean, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
So
have to draw. I don't have to draw.
yeah. So if you want, so if you want to read the entire story of Iris 23, you need to keep supporting him.
True.
So,
Yeah.
yes,
You want to
that's
see
it.
how it ends?
Yes, you need to know how it ends, right?
But no, definitely go check the game out. Like I thought it was a fun game.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you coming on. And I do believe we're going to put it in our description, right? For the description of this.
Yes, yes.
On
I'll put
screen.
everything. If you share me the links, I'll just share everything so that people can actually see it.
And right now it's less than like, it's a, I'm not trying to downplay the game saying it's not worth a lot, but it's less than $1, guys, with tax over $1.
Yeah.
Go grab it and play it.
Yeah,
Have some fun.
Yeah, have some fun over the weekend. It's 20. He said 20 hour plus. So I mean that's your weekend right there.
20-hour plus. Oh
20
no.
hours.
I mean, movies are $15 for 2 hours. So yeah. Anyways, thank you. Really, I really appreciate you coming to the show. Yeah, I mean, and also if you ever want to come back, we're always open. I don't know, whenever you have like a full version launched or something, you want to talk about it. We're always here. So just
Cool.
hope to
Well,
see
thanks
you
for having
again.
me, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on
Thanks for coming
and putting up with us. Sorry, I'm out of control tonight.
Okay. Bye
And,
everyone.
and Anthony didn't come either. I'm
Yeah,
sad about
Anthony. Shout out to Anthony.
Rick Anthony.
Okay, we'll see you next week, Anthony. Hopefully.
The power got him.
that. If the power comes back on and he hasn't been